There's a clear reason you're here right now, listening to these words. It's not just curiosity, it's identification. You feel something is out of place. Your life is functioning, the bills are paid, the routine is organized, but inside, it feels like something is disconnected. Today we're going to talk about the modern emptiness, the invisible emotional exhaustion, the silence you avoid, and why this restlessness might not be weakness, but a sign that you're awakening. Stay until the end, because perhaps what you call tiredness is, in fact, the beginning of your lucidity. There's a kind of despair that doesn't scream. It's silent, polite, functional. It's when life is good enough that you don't complain, but never good enough that you feel alive. The greatest risk isn't suffering. It's living without realizing you're dissatisfied. When everything is too predictable, the mind goes into autopilot, and you start confusing stability with purpose. Excessive comfort doesn't hurt, but it doesn't awaken you either. It's like walking through your own history in your sleep. Modern emptiness isn't necessarily depression, it's an absence of meaning. You can have goals, you can have money, you can have recognition, but if there's no real meaning behind it, everything becomes mechanical. There's a very clear idea in existential psychology. Human beings can endure almost any pain as long as they know why. But when they don't know why they're living, even small tasks feel like tons. Emptiness isn't a lack of things, it's a lack of purpose in things. And that wears you down. Slowly, pay attention to yourself at night. When the noise of the day fades, it's at that moment that a subtle restlessness arises. You pick up your phone, you turn on something to watch, you seek any distraction. Why? Because looking inward requires courage. There's a profound theory about consciousness that says, those who only react to the external world never truly know themselves. Silence is not emptiness. It is a mirror, and sometimes what's frightening isn't the silence itself, but what it reveals. Have you ever noticed how it's possible to be exhausted, even without physical exertion? This happens when you maintain a version of yourself that works, but doesn't represent who you truly are. Society values productivity, results, performance, but it rarely asks, does this make sense to you? There's an old critique of how systems mold people until they stop questioning what they've lost. And the most dangerous thing isn't losing freedom. It's losing the awareness that you've lost it. When everything becomes an obligation, even success loses its flavor. Perhaps what you call dissatisfaction isn't a problem. Perhaps it's direction. Inner restlessness acts like a compass. It points to something misaligned. When you feel that this isn't everything, it may be your mind telling you that you're ready to evolve. Every transformation begins with discomfort. The call doesn't come shouting. It comes as a persistent annoyance, and ignoring it has a high emotional cost. You continue living, but you don't feel present. There's always a point in life when you realize either you revert to autopilot or you start listening to what's arising within you. Awakening isn't about abandoning everything. It's about starting to question. It's about admitting that something no longer fits. It's about understanding that your past wasn't a mistake, it was a learning experience. Imagine yourself a few years from now, looking back at today. Will this be the day you ignored the call? Or the day you decided to listen? Your turning point isn't in the future. It happens when you stop running from the silence. If you identified with this, it's not weakness. It's emerging awareness. Emptiness can be the beginning of a new construction. Silence can be the start of a deeper truth. Comment here. Do you feel like you're living or just functioning? If this content resonated with you, subscribe to the channel. Here, we don't create distractions. We provoke awakening.